Hi everyone, Squatch'ya doing? Angie here. Today, I'm going to share with you some interesting evidence I gathered while at a property checking to see if they had any Sasquatch activity. It took about 3 hours to walk this property looking for evidence. This took place November 2024 near Gravette, Arkansas. Let's get into it. This first image is a picture of me standing by a tree. It is hard to see in this image, but feel free to pause it and zoom in. There is a branch break very high above my head. I would say it was roughly around 8 to 9 feet up on this tree. There are no animals in this area that would do that, period. None. Except for maybe one, and I'll just leave it at that. Next image is of me standing next to a tree break on this property. You can clearly see it is broken roughly around 8 to 9 feet high again. Once again, no human did that. No animal around here can do that, but possibly one. Once again, we'll just leave it at that. The next images will be of bent trees, or should I say bent over trees. A good way to tell if this type of tree formation is natural or manipulated is to look at the spot that is nearest to the ground. Naturally, the tree will normally be bent to any level of degree of bend, but the tree will normally not be restricted and the tip will be just floating in air. However, when it's been manipulated by the big guy, let's just say, it won't look like that. The bent tree will normally have two types of scenarios. Two that I'm aware of at least. One way is the Sasquatch would bend the tree is to bend it and shove the tip, or should I say the very tip of the tree, into the ground. It will be shoved in there deep enough where it doesn't come out on its own. It will stay in place, which is so cool and amazing to find that. Second of these images, you will see the tip is shoved into the ground and is stuck there. The other bent tree image represents another way the Sasquatch do it. They will bend the tree, we suspect, by using something to hold it in place, such as another tree or a rock. In this image, I can't remember which one it was holding it down. It doesn't show it in the picture, and memory is escaping me right now. The next two images were a really cool find. I wish I would have gotten a pic a little bit farther back so you could see it fully. While walking, we thought we saw another tree break, but once we approached, we saw it wasn't a tree break. Well, it was, but it wasn't. Once we got close, we discovered it was 100% broken off, but placed there, and it was balancing. So from a distance, it looked like it was bent, but when you got close, it wasn't bent. It was 100% broke off, and it was just balancing. You can't tell it in this pic, and I apologize for that, but it was perfectly balanced. We were gobsmacked. We could not believe what we were looking at. It was 100% broken off, but put back and placed just to balance. It was so cool. The image will show you how it was 100% broken off. And I have heard of them balancing things like this, but this was the first time I ever saw it in real life. Our next set of images will be of a simple tree-type structure. There was 3 trees. One was bent over, then the other 2 trees placed on that tree to hold it down. Like I had mentioned before, that is something that they are known to do. Weird thing with this is the 2 trees you see that is holding that bent tree were not from there. There was no base, no roots. They were carried and placed there from somewhere else. And I'm telling you, no animal will be doing that. And no human is going to do that. In essence, depending upon the size of the tree, possibly a human would do that. But what human would be carrying just trees out in the woods, like full grown trees, and manipulating them into the forest on somebody else's property? Most likely that's not going to happen. And in this location, the homeowner guaranteed nobody did that. And lastly, the final image will be of a pretty good sized tree that was placed on another tree. You can see from the base of the tree, it was broken off. There are no roots. We looked around and we moved the leaves, and we confirmed it was not from that area. It had been placed and carried there. 100% positive no animal or human did that. To summarize, in my opinion, I told the homeowner that I felt that they had Sasquatch activity on their property. I do not feel the Sasquatch lived there, as there was no evidence for that. But they do use it as a pass-through and maybe a hangout spot at times. The homeowner was surprised by all the evidence we found and was glad to know the Sasquatch were not living on the property. So please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new videos that I release. Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. And thanks for listening.